The AWS Cloud Adoption Framework, Creating an Action Plan, November 2017. 2017. Amazon Web Services, Inc. or its affiliates, all rights reserved. Notices this document is provided for informational purposes only. It represents AWS's current product offerings and practices as of the date of issue of this document, which are subject to change without notice. Customers are responsible for making their own independent assessment of the information in this document and any use of AWS products or services, each of which is provided as is without warranty of any kind, whether express or implied. This document does not create any warranties, representations, contractual commitments, conditions, or assurances from AWS, its affiliates, suppliers, or licensors. The responsibilities and liabilities of AWS to its customers are controlled by AWS agreements, and this document is not part of, nor does it modify, any agreement between AWS and its customers. Contents: AWS Cloud Adoption Framework, Action Plan Overview, All Cloud Adoption Framework and Perspectives, Creating an AWS CAF Action Plan, Conclusion, Appendix, Action Plan Templates 11378. Abstract: as organizations transition to the cloud, Amazon Web Services AWS customers have discovered that creating an action plan for cloud adoption can help you migrate to cloud faster, view desired outcomes, and avoid common challenges to a smooth migration. Creating an action plan helps you uncover potential issues with cloud adoption, then identify and implement proactive solutions. The resulting action plan documents will guide your organization's cloud adoption process. Amazon Web Services AWS Cloud Adoption Framework, Creating an Action Plan. The AWS Cloud Adoption Framework Action Plan Overview. The action plan is a key part of the AWS Cloud Adoption Framework, AWS CAS. The process of developing an action plan helps you voice challenges and concerns related to cloud adoption. Once created, the action plan aligns your organization to proactive solutions and helps you avoid pitfalls in the transition to a cloud-based mod. The AWS Cloud Adoption Framework and Perspectives. Successful cloud transformations identify which organizational skills need to be updated and what new skills need to be learned. The AWS CAF supports and guides your organization as you create an effective cloud adoption plan to address these gaps. It provides guidance on 6 key perspectives common to businesses: business, people, governance, platform, security, and operations. Each perspective is structured to address specific audiences and roles. SID 120. Business Perspective Common Roles: business managers, finance managers, budget owners, stakeholders. SID 120. People Perspective Common Roles: human resources, staffing managers, people managers. SID 120. Governance Perspective Common Roles: Chief Information Officer, program managers, project managers, enterprise architects, business analysts, portfolio managers. SID 120. Platform Perspective Common Roles: Chief Technology Officer, it managers, solution architects. SID 120. Security Perspective Common Roles: Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, Chief Security Managers, its security analysts. SID 120. Operations Perspective Common Roles: Operations Managers, its support managers. For example, the business perspective helps business managers, finance managers, budget owners, and stakeholders understand how certain aspects of their roles may be altered by cloud adoption. Page 1. Amazon Web Services AWS Cloud Adoption Framework, Creating an action plan. The action plan you create is based on the 6 perspectives. Each OSCAF perspective contains capabilities that are owned or managed by one or more functionally related stakeholders. As you review each perspective, you begin to define how stakeholders in each functional area will update skills and processes to support a successful cloud adoption. This occurs in 4 steps. 1. Identify which stakeholders in your organization are critical to cloud adoption. 2. Understand the questions and concerns that may delay or impede cloud adoption for those stakeholders. 3. Identify skills or processes that you need to update to address those questions or concerns. 4. Create an action plan for updating the identified skills and/or processes. Page 2. Amazon Web Services OS Cloud Adoption Framework. Creating an action plan. Creating an OSCAF action plan. You create an action plan by populating action plan templates with each skill or process that needs to be updated within each perspective. Below is an example of a blank business perspective action plan. Figure 1. OSCAF action plan. Business Perspective Action Plan template. For each skill or process that requires updating, you create an action statement and enter it into a cell within the template. Action statements should begin with a verb. Actions to update skills usually start with learn, investigate, or train. Actions to update processes usually start with create, update, develop, or reevaluate. Include an icon in each cell to identify whether the action statement is a skill or a process. Page 3. Amazon Web Services OS Cloud Adoption Framework. Creating an action plan. Each action plan template has 6 icons that represent each perspective. This helps to identify interdependencies with actions in other perspectives. Business perspectives, technology perspectives, business icon, platform icon, people icon, security icon, governance icon, operations icon. For example, you may have an action within the business perspective which has an interdependency in the security perspective. You denote this interdependency by including a security icon and brief description in the business perspective action plan. Page 4. Amazon Web Services OS Cloud Adoption Framework. Creating an action plan. Below an example of a business perspective action plan. Figure 2. OSCAF action plan. Example business perspective action plan. The completed perspective templates outline an action plan for related stakeholders across the entire cloud adoption journey. When rolled up to an organizational level, the combined set of actions becomes too large to effectively manage. Instead, you should review each of the prospective action plans and identify which actions you will complete in the next 2 weeks. Populate these first-term actions into an action plan summary template. Use the summary to prioritize actions at an organizational level. You may elect to repeat this process in regular cycles throughout your cloud journey. Page 5. Amazon Web Services OS Cloud Adoption Framework. Creating an action plan. Here is an example of a completed action plan summary. Figure 3. OSCAF action plan. Completed action plan summary. Page 6. Amazon Web Services OS Cloud Adoption Framework. Creating an action plan. Conclusion. The OSCAF helps organizations identify gaps in their current organizational capabilities and develop work streams to close the gap. OSCAF action plans provide a roadmap for completing the required organizational change by related stakeholders. This process can help you ensure that required updates are made to your organizational capabilities in support of a successful cloud adoption journey. Page 7. Amazon Web Services OS Cloud Adoption Framework. Creating an action plan. Appendix action plan templates. Page 8. Amazon Web Services OS Cloud Adoption Framework. Creating an action plan. Figure 1. OSCAF Action Plan Summary Template, page 9. Amazon Web Services OS Cloud Adoption Framework, Creating an Action Plan, Figure 2. OSCAF Action Plan, Business Perspective Template, page 10. Amazon Web Services OS Cloud Adoption Framework, Creating an Action Plan, Figure 3. OSCAF Action Plan, People Perspective Template, page 11. Amazon Web Services OS Cloud Adoption Framework, Creating an Action Plan, Figure 4. OSCAF Action Plan, Governance Perspective Template, page 12. Amazon Web Services OS Cloud Adoption Framework, Creating an Action Plan, Figure 5. OSCAF Action Plan, Platform Perspective Template, page 13. Amazon Web Services OS Cloud Adoption Framework, Creating an Action Plan, Figure 6. OSCAF Action Plan, Security Perspective Template, page 14. Amazon Web Services OS Cloud Adoption Framework, Creating an Action Plan, Figure 7. OSCAF Action Plan, Operations Perspective Template, page 15.